Hi, I'm Rob Bowerman, and I'm president and founder of the Bowerman Group, and we're a leading executive search firm in the luxury brand space. I think that all of us can agree that the luxury brand industry is ever-changing and evolving, and indeed, most of retail overall is going through seismic shifts right now. Most industries are shifting with changes in technology and consumer preferences, shifting political climates, and all the things that affect how we do business in the world. But I do have to say that those of us affiliated with the retail and wholesale world may be feeling this industry shift a bit more than others, particularly as companies are looking at their brick and mortar presence compared to e-commerce and other channels. For many years, we've heard both client companies and candidates talk about out of the box, a phrase that has now given way to the current buzzword of disruptor or disruption. Honestly, we hear these words so often, and it's important to separate actual action from slapping the label of a positive buzzword on the same old thing. It's kind of like using new and improved to describe the exact same product that's been on the shelves for years. One of my favorite questions to our candidates and clients is, what have you done or committed to doing in order to thrive in an industry that's going through disruption? And this is a question that cuts through the hype and requires specific examples. I'd like to challenge you to ask this question of yourself and answer it honestly. When you're building your resume and citing examples of your successes and your disruptions, are you thinking about actions that are innovative and a result of bold thinking, or just the same old, same old? So for example, not so many years ago, clienteling was a unique phrase in our industry, and now it's a mandatory aspect of any luxury retail action plan, even though spell check does not recognize it as a real word yet. So, if you conduct basic clienteling in your daily business, that's not disruptive. But when we hear from a candidate who's taken clienteling to a new level and developed a system that can be replicated in other stores and channels using perhaps a unique technology or some other type of outreach, well, that is something to talk about. But can you show and tell your action plan and back it up by citing improved KPIs? That's what matters when talking about a success on your resume or in an interview. It also matters if the idea was yours or if you followed a company initiative. Companies want to know that you helped develop something that led to success, not simply implementing something that was pushed down from above. Surely you can talk about that business success, but you can't legitimately own it. Another qualifier is to look at positive disruption in the context of the candidate's organization. So if you're in an ultra-conservative organization where minimal disruption is a big deal and does move the needle on the business, then that could still be important. And you should talk about how you achieve buy-in for your ideas and then rolled them out. But if you're in a much more progressive organization, you may need to try harder to create that innovative disruption. So be sure to think objectively about how your current company is viewed within the industry before choosing which of your action you're promoting. And along with thinking out of the box are failures. I think it's important to challenge our candidates to be comfortable talking about failures in an interview. Einstein said that anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And retail in particular is not an exact science. So the most successful people have tried many different things on their paths to success, and surely some of those ideas failed. But think about what was learned from those failures. Be bold, not only talking about your successes, but a few failures that you're willing to try, showing that you're willing to try new initiatives, and then you learn from what doesn't work. That doesn't mean being reckless with company resources, but if you had a well thought out plan, achieve buy-in from your partners, that still could be a positive story. So true disruptors have experienced failure and they've learned from it. Now, I've been framing this in terms of disruption and out-of-the-box thinking by candidates who are presenting to our client companies, but this very much does apply to companies. If you're a company looking to attract top talent, what is your story and what are you committed to doing in an industry that's going through disruption? This is an essential part of your narrative in a competitive market. So in conclusion, think honestly and objectively about what you've done to positively disrupt your business, and then dig deep on how to best highlight those successes and make yourself a more attractive candidate or company. And if you have to really struggle to think of those examples, then this can be a call to action for you to take some bold steps and make those successes happen. I hope this gave you a few things to think about today. We'd love to hear from you, especially if you're a true positive disruptor. Give us a call or send me an email through a link in this note, and thanks for your time.